Brains or balls? What would you rather? Tonight we're talking the challenge, Rivals 3, The Naked Truth. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I said it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
I am getting so hot, I wanna take my clothes.
And everybody took their clothes off tonight.
Almost everyone. More than just Smashley this episode, so that was impressive.
Everybody,
We got to see
but as you reminded me, Nate and Christina. So
And
that
Christina.
was good. Lots to talk about. This was a great episode. I am Angela Struck, your host tonight, and you can find me on Twitter at @TheAngelaStruck and on Instagram at Angela Struck. And where can everybody find you, Jade?
You can find me at Jade A. Hanson. That's both on Instagram and on Twitter. So, fun episode tonight. I enjoyed the challenge, actually.
It
Today
was great.
It was a great one to watch.
It was a really good challenge. And let us know your thoughts. We are opening up our live chat, so you can let us know what your thoughts are, and we'll give you a shout out. So, great episode.
It was exciting.
A lot going on, finally. I feel like things have been a little slow lately, but now things are starting to pick up. We had, as you said, we had a great challenge.
That was important for
This
me.
episode,
I wanted
yeah.
to really see one we talked about where everyone can compete, because we've seen a lot of challenges where it's really targeted at specific body types, or you know, for some of the eliminations it's been like really mental and puzzle making, but this kind of was everything all in one. It was really nice.
Exactly. It was kind of interesting how throughout the challenge, different people would have the lead at different moments.
There were so
It
many changes. I was like,
yeah.
who's in the lead now? Like,
You really didn't know who was going to win.
You didn't. That was great.
Which I think that this challenge then speaks a lot to who is the best overall couple. Because Sarah and Bananas, of course, if you guys watch, they won.
Yep.
And they kind of have it all. You know, they can do the puzzles. They're physical.
The only thing they weren't very good at was that first thing, was the eating. They took a while on.
Yeah, that was tough. That was
Let's address that. All these different steps.
Yes,
there was
yes.
a lot of different
So,
crazy things.
Okay,
to
so
do.
yes, there was so much because there was the couples at the beginning. We'll go to that
Yes.
later. Okay, so the challenge. The challenge was which would you rather? And so throughout the challenge, they had to choose what would you rather. So everybody out there, what would you rather, brains or balls? Let us know in our chat. But what do you think, Jade?
I think just going into it, like if I was a competitor, I would have said brains. Just I don't want to eat balls, but
Yeah.
watching them eat it, actually, the brains were like all over the face, like white just chunks. It was so disgusting.
It was pretty repulsive.
And they were doing a great job at explaining the smell, too,
Yeah.
which just
Ugh.
sounded
I don't know
awful.
about you, but whenever they do these eating challenges, I get like a gag reflex just watching it.
This
I
one
can't
was-
even imagine what it would be like to participate.
No, this one was especially hard, though, because
Yeah.
everyone was gagging. I think that would make it a lot harder if you're out there and you hear everyone else. Like, I would just...
Oh, yeah.
And people were throwing it up and then putting it back in their mouth.
Yeah. It kind of looked like ground turkey or ground meat at first, so I thought,
Yeah,
oh,
but
maybe.
whiter.
Yeah.
Like a nasty, slimy
Yeah.
white. It looked terrible.
It was really pretty bad. So everybody did pretty much the same, though, I guess, across the board with that. And so then the next one was rocks or lasso. Clearly, the rocks was the way to go with that one.
You would have, have you guys ever thrown a lasso, like, out on a ranch? I didn't understand why that was the go-to for, I think it was 3 couples. Was it 3?
Yeah.
Or it was a handful, that picked that option.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stones just seemed so much easier.
Yeah, the lasso looked like it was going to be easy. They just had to hook it around the one thing. At first, I thought they had to hook it
whole
around
barrel,
the
and then the
whole
first one.
barrel. Yeah, but they really just had to get it on the loop there. So,
It's not the easiest thing to throw, though. I just don't think they understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
As
I
he
don't
said,
know.
especially for a guy from Massachusetts.
Yeah, it probably
You're
wasn't
not
the
used
right
to that.
option.
Yeah, I'm trying. Reminded me of the auction on Survivor. I couldn't watch it as they were doing the eating challenge. I had the gag reflex. They would have had to quit on the spot. That's from Joseph Boza. What up, Joseph Boza? Thank you. Brains over balls. Everybody seems to say brains over balls is what I think they. It seems like though the people that chose balls weren't as kind of
Just
disgusted.
grossed out. I feel like it probably wouldn't have been as squishy and like juicy all over. It would have just been a little more tender.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then with the rocks and the lasso, my question with that was, could they switch?
I don't think so,
Yeah.
because Kellyanne made the comment like, I think we made a mistake. So I think
So once
once
they-
you committed, it's would you rather. So when you picked it,
you're stuck
were
with it.
stuck.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it was tires or the mattress.
So when they first walked up to this, I said no choice mattress. Like,
Yeah.
go with that. That's a lot easier. But watching this, a lot of people did a lot better with the tires.
Yeah,
which
because
makes
they
sense.
could roll, and looked like it was easier to carry.
Yep.
But poor Jenna and Vince.
I felt so awful for them.
Did you think that was fair?
I didn't think it was, because Jenna specifically asked when she walked over and they replayed it, "Is this our mattress?" And I don't know if she just said that quietly, but I feel like there should be someone.
Why isn't there a
standing
producer there saying, no, that's not yours,
And
here
why
it
isn't
is?
there a better? Maybe there was a better sign, and they just weren't making it.
Yeah.
Which, like, I could actually see with that team happening. They just weren't, all
Right,
with it.
maybe just clueless.
But yeah, I felt like that should definitely have been better indicated as to whose was what, because that was
Yeah.
it was just, I can't imagine having to carry that mattress up twice.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. It seemed like somebody should have flagged them down and said, hey, before they had completed the whole thing. Yeah. But alas.
Makes for a better game.
Yeah, I
If you
mean,
make them do it again.
it's a twist and it's interesting to watch. Okay, then they had the puzzles. Oh, that's the one we were trying to think of.
We were trying to think,
So
yes.
either build the house or the bridge. That puzzle to me didn't look that hard.
They,
What do you think?
Nicole figured that out, and she said,
Yeah.
like 5 seconds. Which, no offense, not the person I would have picked to be the best puzzler, or picked to be the best puzzle solver.
I don't think she scored that high on her SATs. I'm just putting that out.
They were the only ones to choose bridge too, though. So maybe, weren't they? I thought they were the only one. Everyone else picked house.
Yeah. Okay. I don't really remember. I don't know if you guys out there remember who, but I thought either way they both looked pretty easy.
simple.
Sarah got it right away. And, but I think they were already kind of in the lead because they're a physically strong team. I mean, they're
great
definitely a
competitors.
force. So then there was the puzzle. And then lastly, the best part of the night, the birthday cake or the birthday suit.
Birthday suit. Everyone picked birthday suit. Were
Yeah.
you surprised by that?
Not really, because I think at that point, you're all living in that house together. They've probably all seen each other naked at this point. It's blurred out for their parents at home. So
I just feel like I love when Sarah was like, "Don't put me in slow-mo."
Yeah.
And then they slow-moed her. But it's every part of you is just like, I don't know. I feel like if I don't have the mindset to go on this show, so
Yeah.
I don't have the same, mindset
Yeah.
as these people, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to run naked.
I know, but at that
Of all
point,
of America.
I think you've eaten brains and balls and you're like,
I just want to be done.
yeah. Yeah, but I also remember when Camilla was here talking to us, she said the worst challenge
Was
she
the
ever had was when she had to eat warm cake, like hot cake in the sun.
Yep.
So, it may just be really disgusting to eat because
Well-
I think it's sitting out for hours.
It was, and they had mentioned multiple times during that challenge. It's really warm. But yeah, it was just a lot of cake. It was a big cake. It wasn't like it was super small.
So, Soul Brother, thank you for pointing that out to us. Nicole did say that puzzles are her thing. So maybe she's smarter than,
That kind of surprises
she's
me,
letting
but
on.
okay.
And then Alex Trias says it would be hard to eat an entire cake. That's a good point.
It would. And they have to run up there
And nothing
anyways.
to wash it down.
No.
Yeah, they don't have water.
That's true.
Oof, that would be hard.
So pretty much the producers were just forcing them to get naked. That's what it came down
Yeah.
to.
Which makes for great TV. I mean, haven't we all
does.
been watching this in the previews, wondering when we were going to get to see everybody?
Has that happened before? I don't think I've seen it.
No, and that's what Banana said. He's never had to in all of the challenges. I thought it was kudos to the production team, the
Coming up
producers
with
for coming
something
up
new.
with that. I mean, after all these years.
We've done everything else we can possibly do. Let's get
Yeah.
these people naked.
About time. Why did
I
it take them
know,
this
you
long?
would think that would have
23
happened a lot
seasons or
earlier
something.
in-
Yeah. But overall, I thought it was really good. Okay, but then we do have to talk about, oh my gosh, Wes running. He was
Next to
in
Nani,
the
they were
sun.
polar
Yeah, she's like
opposites.
with gorgeous Latina, and like he's like the ginger. Oh my god! And then the Vince's legs. I don't know if you guys caught that, but he had such a
the
farmer's
sun
tan,
tan.
like like the. His legs were so white and then so tan. It was
He
just
was
funny.
skinnier than I thought, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, a lot of them are pretty fit.
Some of them weren't.
You can't really stay in the game that long. Yeah. Thomas and
Some
his
of
dad
them
bod.
That was funny though. I love that comment.
Yeah, he's cute. I think Thomas is hysterical. I'm actually, well, we'll get to that, but I was sad to see him go tonight. But great challenge. Okay, so then Christina and Nate, dun dun dun, the missing key.
Lose their key. How
What
does that happen though?
Well, we saw. I mean, but what did you think initially? I mean, I was thinking, girl, you just, Nate and Christina, clueless. They just lost their key.
That's what I thought too. But how do you drop the key in the first place though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, or you also got a comment. How many of you are drooling over Nelson? That's true. Nelson looked good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how do you let that out of your hand, really?
I just like, that's the one thing you have to have.
Yeah.
It's like you're going, you're crazy, you're running, you're not really, you're just trying to get to the end. But I feel like someone's got to keep track of that a little bit better.
I think so too. I mean, I think it's on you a little bit. And it didn't look like it was that far. They show Christina and Nate running all over the place trying to find this key. And she didn't throw it that far out of the way, did she? I mean, it was just right down where they had been.
She picked it up, though, and carried it, I think, for a couple steps and then threw it.
Oh.
So it could have been even higher up than where they had got. Did they get all the way to the top?
I see. I don't know. I got a little confused by that. I thought, you're right, though. She carried it up part of the way, so they must have been really confused as to where it was. I see.
But okay, so I don't know. We can just talk about this now. The whole Camilla picking that up thing.
Yeah. So if you didn't see the whole thing yet, Camilla and Tony accidentally picked up the key that was Christina and Nate's, and Christina and Nate came in last because they couldn't complete it because they didn't find their key. And then once they played back the tape later, they found out that Camilla and Tony had picked it up. So they automatically went into the jungle in place of Christina and Nate. So the question is, what do you guys at home think? Do you think that was fair?
Well, in watching it back, this was my thing though, in watching the replay of it, is Camilla picks up a key that's in front of her and her partner. Her reasoning was, when she was so upset with TJ, was, I didn't know if it was mine. We were protecting ours. It was in front of you. It's not like someone chucked the key up and you guys are running to go get it. So, again, this is like heat of the moment. You're not really thinking through things, but it's clearly not yours if you guys haven't even gotten there yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little weird. I think she, I love Camilla, but I think she probably knew because immediately... Also, TJ said, we gave you the opportunity to say
something.
And she clearly didn't. And she would have known if she was holding two keys at a point.
I mean, you wouldn't
You would
forget.
be like, oh, yeah, like at one point I did have the two keys.
Two.
So guilty conscience a little bit there, I
She
think.
started crying immediately.
Yeah. So I think
the
she
reaction
knew.
was a little odd.
I don't think she meant to be,
malicious about it. No, I don't think so either. But you got to kind of own up. Though,
she should have
when
owned
they
up to it.
ask.
I think if she had, maybe it would have turned out differently. But whatever. Alas, she had to go in, and she was not happy about it.
She kept saying we're gonna go home, and I'm like, you guys, you can compete. You're
Yeah.
fine. What are you talking about?
But we know her. She can be such a kind of emotional
back and forth. Yeah.
Camilla monster. I think she was just like freaking out about it, and I think she didn't want to look like a cheater on TV. I mean, she's a good competitor. She tries hard. She's honest. She's true to her friends for the most part. So I think she just didn't want to have that look, I guess, as well.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what happened.
Yeah, but
It did happen, but I don't think she did it
Okay, so
intentionally.
but before that, so let's talk about this little tiff between Vince and Thomas. What did you think of that?
That was the most pansy altercation. And I get Thomas's part because he just stood there and let him, because he just wanted him to go home.
I mean, Vince, come on. You've got
I slammed him down.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Vince, like, you should know better than to hit somebody because he got lucky this time. I mean, he didn't really hit him, I guess, but get physical with anybody in this game because at the you don't want to get out. You don't want to get sent home. And we've seen so many people over the years be sent home from that. Like, control yourself.
I thought it was pointless. I don't know how I felt about them keeping him because he didn't punch him.
He didn't really punch him. He was certainly provoked. Thomas was like looking for it. But
I still don't hold that against Thomas. I think you got to be able to control.
I agree. It's like you
yourself.
said, though, it was kind of a lame little fight. I mean, nobody really did anything. It just kind of like held him over the table.
Held them over the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even to put your hands on someone, I
Shouldn't
just,
do it.
With
Yeah.
game shows, but they can't send anyone else home.
Yeah.
Like they,
Yeah.
I don't know what production is gonna do. They're
I
like
know.
running out of people.
So then we see Sarah and Bananas sitting at the table together and having this beautiful kind of moment where they're talking through their issues.
It was great. I was happy to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was. I still feel that Bananas has no right to be as upset with Sarah after the years of betraying friends that, he has done on the show. I think it's a bit hypocritical, but I see where he's coming from. He's saying, I actually viewed you, Sarah, as somebody that wouldn't do this, and I wouldn't do it to you. So what do you think?
I agree with you. I think that he was way too upset over the whole incident. If he felt that wrong, though, I guess and I agree with what she said. She says,
Yeah.
I'm not going to apologize for the decision I made. And
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Like, you made the decision that
It's
was
a
best for
game
you.
to win.
And I believe who she didn't send in from that was Jenna and her partner, who I think went home like immediately in that challenge. I don't remember the finals.
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
went home,
yeah.
like,
I
immediately.
think it was that the one where they didn't eat
They
the
didn't.
food?
It was
Yeah,
the
they
first one.
refused to eat.
So it's a good strategy because definitely wanted to keep them around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Yeah. We also got from Sky the boss. He says there's a lot of tension in the house and they're bored and drunk. And that's true about the Vince and Thomas fight. I think that they get bored. I mean, Camilla also said that like, no matter what you're doing to pass your time, if it's a deck of cards, whatever, like they'll take it away from you. So they're bored and they're drunk and they're just
nothing to
looking
do.
for something to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting though to watch how people can pull certain characters apart.
Yeah.
And really use that mind game. It's not just in the games. It's I think
Yeah.
even more so it's back in the house.
Yeah.
Where you really get under people's skin.
Speaking of bored and looking for things to do, people were doing each other this episode, which was kind of like
In the beginning.
fun. Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah, in
so
the
we
beginning
didn't get to
episode.
touch on that. Like the couple.
Camilla and Devin, what is she thinking?
That was a weird one. What do you guys at
Weirdest.
home think? Camilla and Devin? Oh, but wait, didn't you love? He said, I've never once wanted to be with a girl or be with someone and not
been
gotten
able to.
them.
He's
He doesn't strike me as a guy that just is such the ladies' man. I don't know. Do you think so?
absolutely not. But in watching Are You the One, he actually had like one girl that he played the whole time.
Really?
So that's
Yeah.
been what I don't understand
Yeah.
it. I don't see how he cast this magical spell over everyone. But I mean,
Yeah.
definitely, I just Camilla.
That was a weird one,
was
but
so
hey,
weird
you
for
know,
me.
girl, do you? I think there's a lot of alcohol and a lot of drunk. But Cheyenne and Corey, I do agree that they would be the cutest, hottest couple.
Super hot.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful. I
Yeah,
would
they're
agree
both
with that.
gorgeous.
I don't know if she's as into him. She says it in the teaser, though. She says that he gets sexy. But
Yeah, I think she's into him, but I think she's a smart girl, and I think she
Yeah.
knows, like, do I really want to get involved in this situation? Is this going to end well?
probably not.
Yeah. But could be fun, so maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I
we'll
think it'll be
see.
fun to watch
I'm
those
happy
two if
that
they both
she's
stick
back.
around.
I'm happy that she's back for that storyline.
That storyline
See
to
what
continue.
happens.
And
yeah.
the Devin adds so much drama. So
Yeah,
if
he
the
did.
Camilla things go farther, this
Yes.
would be funny to watch too.
Yes. And then the last couple was Ashley and Tony.
I don't understand.
Yeah, there are kind of no words. Like, I didn't think that she would hook up with somebody else. I kind of thought that she was really into Jamie. I don't know. What did you think?
So, does it kind of make you rethink what Simone was saying, though?
Well,
now
yeah.
you got to think about that.
Yeah,
because-
you're exactly right. I thought that when we were watching it, I was like, wow, she kind of just proved Simone right.
Right.
Because Simone said, don't
she
trust
doesn't
her.
yeah, she doesn't really care about
Yeah.
you. I just, I think the girl just seems like she gets so sloppy drunk and just
Yeah.
kind of throws herself whatever way the
Yeah.
wind's blowing.
Yeah, but I kind of thought that she did like him. But I guess, you know what? I think he was kind of giving her the cold shoulder after what Simone said, and maybe she just wanted some attention, and that was it.
She got it.
You know? So anyway, all right. So as you said, let's go back to Devin and them. They brought some drama when Sarah and Bananas were selecting who they want to send in. They brought over first. Was it Devin and who did they bring over first? No,
it Devin?
Nelson and Amanda.
Yes, it was. Nelson
Banana
and
says
Amanda.
that Amanda looked great naked. And then they kind of struck a deal that if Nelson and Amanda won, which I thought this was really smart on Bananas and Sarah's part, because I think they actually view Amanda and Nelson as strong competitors and think that they have a potential for being on top. So it was really as simple in that negotiation to say, well, when you're on top, don't throw us in.
I think there are a lot weaker teams that they could choose over them too. So to put them in a position where you need to make a deal with me, and then they weren't probably going to throw them in anyways. I think that was smart.
I thought it was really smart. You know, I think the vets can't just rest on their laurels. They've got to, work with the rookies. They've got to. They've got to bring them in.
Especially because the vets are going against each other and already throwing each other in.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the whole bonding with the rookies is even more important.
Bananas and West, we knew that they're going to go against each other. They always do. But Bananas really made a power move by combining with Devin. Because not only did Devin say, if you guys, or if we win, we'll send you in, or we won't send you in. And what else did he say?
Pick your opponents. You can
we'll let you pick your opponents, and our partnership with Wes is off.
We're dropping Wes.
What do you think about that? Do you think that Devin can be trusted then at this point?
I don't trust Devin. I couldn't throw him anywhere. He's really big. I don't, trust Devin at all. I just he's not seemed honest to me. I watched Are You the One, and he was lying behind people's backs then too. So I don't trust him. I feel bad for Cheyenne because I feel like she probably is maybe a loyal person, but with him you really don't have a choice.
I kind of think that the second the tables are turned, Devin's gonna stick with Wes.
Well, and later on in the episode, Wes references that alliance too, so it'll be interesting to see kind of who he chooses.
Havoc6280 though, back to the Smashly thing, says Jamie shouldn't screw with girls on the reality show if he's concerned about his feelings, and that's a good point. I mean, she's never kind of
she doesn't seem like the one to settle down with right now.
The one to take home to mom. She's just kind of a fun girl to have a fun night with, I think. So anyway, okay, so the Devin and Cheyenne alliance, interesting. I'm curious to see what happens with that. But then they again decide to vote in Wes and Nani as well, which was a big power move as well. They said either Wes or Bananas, they're going to send each other in, so who will do it first?
It was going to happen eventually. I'm not surprised that it was Bananas sending in Wes first. I mean, that was zero shock to me.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised though.
Really?
Because I think that the rookies, there's so many of them that I thought that the vets would still have more of an alliance to one another than to the rookies. So I don't know. I didn't think
you're
it would happen.
underestimating the hatred.
Yeah.
How deep it runs.
Yeah.
I don't think necessarily strategy-wise that was the best move. I wasn't surprised by it, but I get what you're saying. Strategically,
it was actually
wasn't.
Well, it kind of was though. In a way, it was like because they are the strongest team. So if they had gone home, but as we saw, they didn't. So now it's not the best move. But
I know they really kind of got screwed
because now a lot of teams that can be can win the challenge will have a target on Sarah and Bananas' backs. But I think that was already going to happen. I really appreciated what Nani was saying, that the game has kind of changed. You have to play and compete. You can't, this isn't the challenge of Kenny and Wes's day where they could really just coast through until the end on their alliances. You really have to compete, and the tables are turning every week. So it's very fun to watch.
And we have talked about how we don't like all of the rookies on this show, but I think that it does add to that aspect of it, at least, as it keeps us on our toes. It's not so predictable as to who's going to make it to the very end, which in this case is good.
You're right. I'm coming over a little bit.
I still don't want. I would like to see some more veterans.
Yeah, I still would like to see
now I'm kind
some,
of seeing
but-
the light.
Yeah, but it's definitely adding a new flavor, and you can't just do the same show for 20, seasons, I guess.
So
but
many seasons.
I don't know. I wouldn't complain. Anyway, so then we get to Thomas gets a phone call from his girlfriend that she is going to the hospital and going home, and he's going to go home. But, we didn't really see it until the actual jungle when they came dressed to go home. They didn't come dressed to compete. That was sad. I was really sad to see Thomas go. What do you think?
It wasn't that sad.
Really?
That means Simone left.
Well, that's true.
Hello?
I was happy to say goodbye to Simone. I thought she was a good partner to Thomas, though. She kind of really had his back. She could have been, pissed. But she would have looked really kind of awful if she did, I guess.
She said something. I forget what it was at the end of the episode. I am so happy to see her gone. But
she's an annoying person.
I honestly was more just upset because as soon as they announced that, I said, are we really not going to have another elimination? I'm so tired of seeing people just go home. Just to go home.
I'm really frustrated with that. We haven't seen good eliminations, which is the best part of the show, in my opinion. I mean, that's the most suspenseful. And I actually think it's when you see who has the best athletic ability, and whoever, if you can go and win, that says a lot about you. So it's fun, and we haven't had many at all.
No, I love watching underdogs win. I think that's super exciting, and it does happen. Not all the time.
Yeah,
but
I didn't
it's
really
exciting.
expect Amanda and Nelson to win last week.
Looking at the size comparisons of the two,
Nelson is jacked.
Nelson's jacked. Amanda's the tiniest little girl I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's true.
yeah,
But I kind of just, as vets, expected Jess and
Johnny to do
better. Yeah. But anyway, they still had the jungle, and they pulled those white and black skulls. Fortunately for them, all white skulls. So
got
nobody went
really
home.
lucky.
Yeah.
I was disappointed. I wanted to see something.
Well, come on. How good to see Camilla and Nani have to go against each other, the best friends in the house. That would have been a great
storyline.
elimination. Yeah,
exactly.
a great story. But, it'll be fun to see all those people still in the house together for a bit longer.
I think it would have been a loss to have some of the bigger cast members go home so soon.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Interesting that Wes hasn't won an elimination in
7-8
years.
Is it really been that long?
I thought that was really crazy. I didn't realize it had
I
been
don't
so
have
long.
8 years of racked up here, but yeah, that's a really long
The Wes
time.
I remember still in my head was a great competitor. But
maybe
it's
it
been a
was though
while.
just in recent years he just hasn't had to compete in those.
And it can come down to so many different things, too.
You can, your partner, can have a big role in that. But yeah, no, I agree. That was a very shocking, if that was real, a real length of time.
Yeah.
It was very surprising.
Some people had some funny comments about they were saying that the producers were probably upset that Thomas's girlfriend went into labor. First of all, I didn't realize that went into labor. Did they say that? They said that going to the hospital. I didn't know. Shout out to Joseph Boza for knowing that information.
Right.
I didn't realize that she was pregnant, but okay, she was pregnant going into labor, then definitely he needed to go home.
I feel like they should have said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, his girlfriend was not pregnant. She had a stroke-like episode. Okay. Well, anyway, she went to the hospital, and they're saying that production was probably upset about it because Simone is good TV. And that's definitely true. I mean, she is starting fights with everybody.
Well, and Thomas was even stirring the pot.
Yeah.
He was just an instigator.
Yeah.
I loved his face when he walked away from the Vinny. Did you see him just grinning?
Bye.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So
It's a good episode. I feel like the everything is simmering, right? Like there's so much going on, and there's a lot of tensions building, and people are kind of letting their niceties go aside. So I think it'll be a good rest of the season. I'm hoping that nobody else goes home for silly reasons again.
I don't know when it's gonna stop. You keep thinking okay, we're really gonna
gonna start
every episode, and it just hasn't. I just don't know. Production can't do anything about it.
They must be a bit flustered.
They would be frustrated. I bet they're frustrated.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being in their position.
Yeah.
Being you guys signed up for this.
Yeah.
And you're all going home.
Quitting, injuries, whatever it is. So anyway, great episode. Excited for next week, and hopefully we'll have an actual elimination. Let's get into some predictions, though.
Sounds good. Remind me what happened in the teaser.
And now, your AfterBuzz
I don't know
TV
if I remember.
predictions.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. What did happen in the?
The challenge, I remember the challenge was interesting. I don't remember what it looked like though. We both were like, whoa.
Oh, it was where they're rolling off the
That's what it was.
the
And they were
road
trying- I think they're
at the
trying to
edge
grab
of a
something.
ledge or something like that.
Yep, in front of them.
Yeah, that looked hard and scary. So I don't know, but it didn't look, from what I could tell, which we'll need to see, but it didn't look like such a physical.
Didn't look skilled. It
Yeah,
looked more
like-
like a mental, like getting over.
Yeah, your
the
fears and maybe just going for it, not being somebody that's holding back. So again, I think Sarah and Bananas will be a strong team. Who do you
Jenna
think?
always, she has no fears. That
Yeah.
girl is just like, yeah, put the helmet on me, do whatever.
She goes
Corey
for
and
it.
Ashley, I think, will do good because I think Ashley's the same way. She just is like, I'll do whatever you need me to do.
You're right.
Who's going to do badly, though? Is there anyone who's super afraid of heights?
Nate.
Nate will do
Nate,
terrible,
he was
I'm
the one that
sure.
wouldn't jump out of the airplane, so I bet he's probably gonna have a problem with this.
Yes.
I
I think everyone else is kind of.
think everybody else is
though.
probably
Maybe
at this
Camilla.
point.
Is Camilla kind of afraid?
I don't remember.
No.
I think she
does
usually goes
okay.
for it.
Yeah, she does okay.
But good call. Yeah, it's interesting. Ashley definitely is kind of like Jenna in that way, aren't they? That it's great when you can just like not think and just do.
Exactly. That's
game.
the mindset that both of them have. Is
Yeah.
just strap the helmet on me and I'll do whatever you need. Which is, I mean, that's the kind of people you need on this show.
Yeah.
They're much more fun to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It'll be a good one, and it'll be interesting then to see who wins. Like if Wes and Nani were to win, will they send in bananas, or what will happen there? So
know if I
because
see
people
them-
are starting to turn on each other now, so it's kind of getting interesting.
It's getting heated. So hopefully, yeah, we see some eliminations happen,
Yeah.
which would be. We could see 3 in the next episode, and I'd be.
I would like
just
to see like
something
2 teams have to go home.
something exciting.
Yeah.
So, and I'm tired of people always pulling the white skull. I don't know how it keeps happening. It's
I
episode after
agree
episode.
with that. In the
always
same
with the white skull.
order. It's always the last skull that is pulled is the
It's
black skull.
Which, like, okay, I get odds aren't, I mean,
I'm
they're not.
wondering if they're like putting it in a certain way that it's always that,
I
How
just
can
am
it
frustrated
happen
with
every
it. I'm
single
like,
time?
someone pull the black. It's
Yeah.
got to happen eventually. So
Yeah.
if it doesn't happen this
Well,
next
it's always
episode
happening the
before
last-
the last,
yeah.
we're gonna know something.
We need to see. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, guys, and thanks for chatting with us in our live chat. It was really fun to hear all your comments. I am Angela Struck, and you can find me on Twitter at @TheAngelaStruck. Tweet us, your thoughts and predictions for next week. And this is my wonderful host, Jade, and you can find her where?
Yes, Jade A. Hanson, both on Twitter and on Instagram, guys. Thanks for watching so much.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.